Pet Man Matt Morrow, owner and founder of CF5. With him, we have Cherie Glenn, our lead reporter, knocking out interviews, going all over the place, just being the queen of CF5. We have Brandon Black, the man behind the camera, the producer, and our photographer does a great job getting those shots every week. We have with us assistant West Charlotte football coach Brandon Billups, very energetic young man. Former head coach at Central Cabarrus and East Rowan High Schools, Kenneth McClamrock, one of our big football experts. And then last but certainly not least, we have Josh Kroll, former Christ the King head coach, former offensive coordinator at multiple schools. And we are Football Focus Weekly.
Good evening, everyone. Pet Man Matt Morrow here. All those names you just heard, they're not here. It's just me right now. This is going to be a special edition of Football Focus Weekly. Initially, we weren't going to do a show this week, but just kind of given the spirit of the season, I guess, decided to come on and do a little show. I got some things I want to talk about tonight. There'll be some different people popping in and out here, but this is not the normal Football Focus Weekly where we have the crew and everybody. But it's just me right now, and I see the numbers dropping off very slowly, so that's wonderful. All jokes aside, tonight I'm going to do a couple different things. We're going to highlight a lot of players that I've seen throughout the season. Mainly throughout the private school ranks. We may go into some of the South Carolina ranks as well. A lot of players that I'm impressed with that I've been wanting to kind of shout out for their performance on the field this season. So we're definitely going to do a lot of that. We're going to talk about realignment. I got some notes for that. It's going to be some interesting things. Seeing some schools projected to go 3A that I really want to kind of get into, and then some different possible formations of the 4A conferences as well. Of course, we've got South Carolina playoffs still going. We got a couple of local Charlotte Metro teams at Catawba Ridge and Northwestern that are still playing, having great and special seasons. We're going to talk about them a little bit. And then private school roundup. I mean, Charlotte Christian won the title. Congrats to them in a great game against Rabun Gap. Our Justin Adams was there. He had a lot of great insights. I want to share those with you guys. And then, in the pros, we got NFL talk. Panthers getting a big shutout win over the Lions, which was really cool. And then we got to talk about the Charlotte Hornets, because this is the most Charlotte Hornets talk that I've heard in the city in a long time. They're doing a lot over there, and we got to discuss it, whether it's positive or negative, so forth and so on. So, my man Otis Powell, one-man show, my old OC. Yeah, it's a one-man show right now. This is a little different. Kind of goes back to my old days, back in the Carolina varsity days of long ago. We would kind of do the one-man band kind of thing sometimes. But I want to lead off the show. It's Thanksgiving, and I want to give some thanks, to a number of people that kind of shaped what Charlotte Football Insiders is. And it may be a little surprising and maybe a little ironic given some of the things that we joke around with and talk about on the show. But I feel like this is a great time to give thanks to a lot of people that have kind of shaped what Charlotte Football Insiders is, If you're new to the Charlotte area, you may not know that I was with a group called Carolina Varsity several years ago to kind of start this thing off when I, decided to stop coaching. I coached for 13 years, and I pretty much stopped coaching because, I got promoted at my real job and I didn't have the time to coach anymore. Talked to a gentleman named Dale Ross, who, afforded me the opportunity to come out and pretty much kind of get my feet wet in this, kind of pseudo media, kind of thing. It's not a professional media thing, but, when you want to give back and, you want to help kids, and, he, pretty much gave me the chance to go out and do that with Carolina varsity for a few years. And a lot of people remember, we did the shows back then in Dale's house. Come a long way from what that used to be, and recording and stopping and coming on and then editing and all that stuff. Now you just pretty much do it live. But a lot of things kind of happened to where the Carolina varsity thing went, and in time things run its course. And I'll tell you from my perspective, I am thankful that Dale Ross gave me that opportunity to, kind of get in here and, just kind of mess around and do different things and, figure out what worked well and what didn't. And, I am appreciative of that. And, that's something that I do tell people when people ask me, well, what happened with Carolina varsity? Went out and started Shaw Football Insiders. Thankful for that opportunity to learn, this kind of thing and get into it. Also want to say I'm thankful to Langston Wirtz, of the Observer. He's a OG. He's been doing it for 30-something years. The biggest thing I can say thanks to him for is helping get, people to know me, because we would do things with Carolina varsity and it would kind of sit out there. But it went to another level when Langston started taking those things and putting them onto the Observer website and, helping, just see that, we're doing this kind of thing, and on a personal level, it helped showcase the kids. But, along the same time, it got people to see, what I was doing, for that brand. So, they do a great job over there, and Langston's been the key guy in doing it for so long, for so many years. And I know the one thing I love about that guy, when he tells a story, he did the story on the Mallard Creek guys. I think the kid that has a little bit of a medical condition right now. It was a great story. He tells great stories, really lays it out well. And I'm thankful for him as well, for helping expose, kids and just in general for so many years. So those two guys, I am thankful for on a personal note. So I just want to get that out there. But to my Charlotte Football Insiders family, I'm thankful to Brandon Black, my friend for many years, former teammate at Harding. When I said I wanted to do this, he was totally on board. And, he comes out and takes pictures. We've learned kind of, the different ways of doing things together. By no means we are professionals, but I'm appreciative of what he has done to support, this brand going on 2 years now. Cherie Glenn, who is a great friend of mine, came along when I said I wanted to do this. And, from the start, we were, going over to the library and recording videos and going on site and recording videos and game previews. And, none of us make any money for this stuff. But, the passion in those two people, especially from the start, has just been, amazing. And, I can never repay them for the time and the commitment they do to, do something that, just helps kids and, and helps coaches and helps programs. And it really does mean a lot. So, special thanks to all those guys. The panel, Coach Billups, who will probably be on a little later. I thank him for being on and being the yin to the yang, I guess is the best way to put it. The Juice Man, I want to thank him. Coach McClamrock, who, we've been coaching buddies and friends for a long time, actually played against each other back in high school. Joe Hughes has come on with us and, done a great job. And all the guests that we've had, the coaches and, everyone in the community, always, anything that we ask for as far as access or coming on the show, doing an interview. But the most big thanks I want to give is to the players. The biggest thing that I always have wanted to do is highlight players. And that was the thing that really motivated me to get into this in the first place, because I can tell you when I coached at Harding back in the day, and I think I've told this story to a few other people before, but we were 5-0 going into play Independence 5-0. I think it was 2003. And, you know, they used to do the game of the weeks on the different stations and all that. And we weren't game of the week. And we were like, why? How is that? Why not? I mean, we're 5-0. They're 5-0. I think we're the only two undefeated teams in the city. And no one cared to come out there and cover it or anything. So at that point, you know, back in 2003, and I was, you know, really deep into coaching them, and I was like, if I ever get a chance to do anything highlighting kids and teams, I want to make sure that everyone is covered. And that's the biggest goal of Charlotte Football Insiders. Everyone has to be covered in some sort of fashion. That's why you see us, you know, we'll go to Mallard Creek, for example, but we're also going to go to Garinger. We're going to go to Berry. We're going to go to Harding, you know, every year. You know, it's not just the top schools that, you know, always get a lot of pub and everything. And that's great. We always want to cover the star players, but we also want to cover the lineman that blocks for the star running back. We want to cover the kicker that makes that game-winning field goal. You know, we want to cover everyone that we can in the Charlotte metro area. So I just wanted to start the show a little differently and say thanks to all those people that I mentioned right there. And the biggest thing I want to say is on this show, on Charlotte Football Insider, we have a good time. We have fun. But I want to stress that we do not go out here and try to, you know, make anyone mad. We don't try to, you know, stir up, you know, any kind of controversy or feeling like that. Our main goal is to highlight kids, coaches, and programs, and that will always be our main goal. Now, we like to cut up. We like to have a good time on this show, and, you know, when we get out in person, you know, we get together, we have a good time. But that's what I wanted to start the show with out tonight. We're at Thanksgiving. I wanted to give thanks to all those people, and especially you players and you coaches, because you guys make this happen, and I'm thankful for that. So thank you so much. All right. Okay, so now we got South Carolina football update, and we got our buddy Joe Hughes sitting in the background, and we're getting ready to bring him on right now as soon as I get this thing up and ready to go. And there we go. So let's go. What's up, man? Well, we're firing off the gate because we got you muted.
We're already on a holiday, obviously.
Yeah, you know, it's all good, man. It's casual tonight. We ain't under pressure of the green room spotlights.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we got a few important games going on now in South Carolina. We've got, of course, the upper state and lower state championship game this week. We've got Northwestern and TL Hanna, who knocked off your Gaffney boys last week.
Yeah.
What can we expect from TL Hanna? I mean, I don't know. I know they run the ball a lot, but what can we see from them?
A lot of assignment-based football. They like to get out and run it straight at you. They like to play a little bit of smoke and mirrors. And I'm looking forward to seeing the contrast of that, because that's really what Northwestern does well. They really are great at stopping the run, and really proved that last week, stopping a great Dorman attack. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they have in that regard, and vice versa. I'm eager to see exactly what TL Hanna does to try to stop the Northwestern passing attack. Northwestern looked like they could do no wrong in the first half last week, and then in the second half they did next to nothing. But who knows whether that had anything to do with just being comfortable, because their defense was in control of that game just about throughout.
Yeah, And I was seeing your updates, from the game, and I saw Northwestern jump up. I think it was 27-7, and I thought, oh man, I mean, I knew they were motivated, but looked like they were just going to run away with it. But it'll be interesting to see, excuse me, those kind of contrasts as you mentioned. Who would you say would be a favorite in that one if you had to pick right now?
I'll take Northwestern. They're the more complete football team. I can. There's really one way. I like to look at different ways that a team can beat you. Tail Hannah does what they do well. They do it better than anybody else that I can think of. They're probably the closest thing to a Charlotte Catholic type engine right now. But Northwestern is the more complete football team, from in the trenches to their skill guys to their all three levels of defense. They are the more complete football team. Plus, they're at home, and even though we like to say we're playing basically in front of an empty stadium, home field advantage still means a lot. And we kind of saw a little of that last week when you had Dorman having to deal with Northwestern fans being on the road side, which is something that you don't see regularly in any type of high school environment. But especially now in the playoffs, that means a lot.
Absolutely. So is T.O. Hannah, are they going to bring a big crowd, you think?
I don't think they'll bring a big crowd, although they have a pretty loyal fan base. To kind of take away from the football side, the most heated, hostile environment that I went to in a basketball game was, I think it was 2013 or 2014 when LJ Peak and Gaffney went into T.O. Hannah and played a basketball game. That was the most hostile environment that I've been to for a basketball game. They're a loyal fan base.
All right, cool. Well, I know me and Brandon are going to be there in District 3, and we're excited to be there once again. Are you going to be there this week?
I will.
Awesome, good stuff. All right, so the story of the playoffs has been Catawba Ridge, the Copperheads out of Fort Mill. Last week, we were down there at Irmo, and I'm gonna get the rushes in a second, but I guess whole story about that one. Oh
yeah.
But they were very impressive, defeating Irmo 41-21. It was a good first quarter, pretty even 7-7, but then they kind of broke it up in the second quarter. The key play was about a 4th and 2 midfield, mid-second quarter. Irmo goes for it. They try to run a little quarterback stretch off tackle, gets stuffed in the backfield, field position flip. Catawba Ridge goes down, scores 17-7. At that point, you can kind of feel the momentum switch. And then from there, Catawba Ridge just took that game over. And I mean, those guys are rolling, man. They're rolling on both sides of the football. Of course, they got Flora this week, number 1 seed, who's been just rolling everybody. What can you tell us about Flora?
Man, they look different than any other team from Richland 1 school district that I've ever seen. There's a reason why, under most cases, that side of town has been mostly, hey, we're going to play baseball, we're going to play basketball. Those are the two sports that they just absolutely run. So to see a team from that side of town with the type of athletes that they have, it's going to be tough for Catawba Ridge on Friday night, just off of sheer number of athletes running all over the field. They have so many plug-and-play guys, it is ridiculous. But Catawba Ridge, I expect Catawba Ridge to go in there with a great game plan and do what they do best, and that's play defense. Their defense travels, and if you're going to go down on your shield. So I expect them to, if they do go down, I expect them to go down doing what they do best.
Yeah, the two things I've heard about Flora, and I looked at a little film of them today. The offensive line is huge. And then the athletes you mentioned, getting them into space, especially the run game. The main, now they got 2 really good running backs, but the main guy is a horse. My goodness. I mean, he's like a one cut and go, and he goes. I mean, that's speed.
Yeah. And he has the power to match to go with it. That's the thing that kind of sets him apart.
Right, exactly. And then, I'm thinking back to last week, Irmo, and Coach Brand, he likes to run, that off tackle power a lot when you pull that lineman and lead through and all that. It's the old Tommy Knox type stuff.
Yeah.
They had some success with that. At times it would pop, for 10 yards here, 11 yards there. So, that's the big thing that Top Ridge is going to have to figure out. You got to sell out on the run, make them beat you throwing the football, man. I know they got athletes on the outside. And, there were some times last week Irmo got behind with Top Ridge. There were two deep balls, especially. One got called back on a holding, and then the other one, the guy was wide open and just dropped it. So, it's going to have to be some really good defensive game planning, but they've got the staff, to put that together. Like a lot of former head coaches on the Catawba Ridge staff, I'm sure they'll have a really, really good game plan and ready to go and put their kids in the best position to be successful. Absolutely. But I know those fans are going to travel. They had a big crowd last week at Irmo. They just about had more fans than the Irmo crowd had.
That is a long-standing problem with Irmo. That is, there's just too much to do in that area, and Dutch Fork has the same problem. Dutch Fork has won title after title after title, but even during times when you could get everybody in the stadium, they still weren't selling like they should. And you can't help that. Even winning can't cure everything, and I don't know what's going to fix it, but as long as they keep winning, at least the money's going to keep rolling in some way.
That's wild, man. I'm surprised to hear that, especially in South Carolina. But it is what it is, I guess. What are some other good games here in the championship round we can look for?
Yeah, we have closer to home. We have Wren and Daniel in 3A. Wren and Daniel actually met earlier this year. Daniel got the better of Wren in a conference matchup. So you have that game, a rematch for a chance to play for a state championship. Also, North Myrtle Beach, they also met earlier this year. North Myrtle Beach kind of took them behind the woodshed and did a few things. This time around, Myrtle Beach is more healthy, more prepared, and I expect a different team, not necessarily a different outcome, but I expect it to be a good one. And, of course, Abbeville and Gray Collegiate Academy. Yeah, these two fan bases have basically been going at each other for about the past 3 to 4 weeks once they saw the brackets released. And this is kind of a matchup of the old guard versus the new guard. Abbeville continues to run its A-bone, its version of the wishbone. Gray Collegiate is more of a spread them out, let's get our athletes in space type of team. I look forward to that matchup and seeing exactly what these two teams can do.
And that Facebook group been popping, man.
Indeed.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm ready to see that one just to see what the comments are gonna be. I just trip out just reading those comments in there, man. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's a South Carolina high school group on Facebook. Just these guys are nuts. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they make you think something's going on down the state line. Makes you think something's a little bit down there, just a little bit. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I just know my people, man. I just know my people.
Oh man, that's good stuff. Well, Joe, I'm gonna give you one more solo shot. What are you thankful for this year?
Man, I'm thankful for life. Thankful for my wife and my kids. I'm going to be especially thankful for this food that I'm going to eat tomorrow. This turkey, these candied yams. I'm ready for it. But as I said, on a serious note, just thankful for life, and I'm thankful just to be able to share it with everyone else that's here with us. It's been a rough year for us all, but we're still standing, and the best is still yet to come.
Man, that's well said, man. Amen, brother. Well, happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate you taking out a few minutes tonight to come on here and talk a little South Carolina football. It's been great. And we're going to talk once again next week when we get to the championships, man. I'm excited to do it.
No doubt. No, we'll talk Friday. Briefly Friday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. That's a good point. Yeah. All right, man. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
No doubt, my man.
All right, we'll see you. All right, so that was Joe Hughes, South Carolina football update. Once again, another great job. You know, we got two local teams once again with Northwestern hosting TL Hanna at District 3 Stadium Friday night. You want to come out and catch some high school football? I think it'd be a great time. Contrasting styles, Northwestern with the spread, TL Hanna with more of the run option kind of game. And then we got our buddies at Catawba Ridge going down to AC Flora, which is down near Columbia, taking on the Flora Falcons. Flora's hosting that one, number 1 seed, and Catawba Ridge trying to get into the state championship game. And reading a little bit of stuff today, it would be the first time a Fort Mill school has made the state title game. That's crazy. Long history of South Carolina football. That's interesting. So good stuff with that. So we got a couple people sitting in the back. Let me see if they're ready to go. I see one of our buddies getting down, sitting up. And let me see if our other person is ready here. Let's see. How can we do this? Let's bring him in. There he is. All right.
What's up, pal?
How we doing?
Good, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Thankful, man. Thankful on this
Good.
Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah, so everyone that has watched the show on a regular basis, this is our buddy Mizzle.
Yes, hey, I'm so happy to be on CF5, talking a little bit of basketball on CF5, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, man. You've been wanting us to talk basketball for the longest, and you know, and I think basketball's getting started. So, I guess my first question is, who are the area teams that we need to look out for this season?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. Mooresville. Now, Mooresville is one, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about my group of guys, man. They have bought in and they are really been working really hard this off season doing our workouts. We have some great guys, some great seniors that I'm really looking forward to coaching. And you know, those guys have been working their butts off, and I'm so excited about my group. First off, you know, down the street where I came from, you can't forget about those North Met Vikings, who was going to be really good. They returned a lot of guys, man. And, you know, my mentor, Coach Dwayne Lewis, he does a great job with that program over there at North Mecklenburg High School. And he's just going to keep on winning, man. So can't forget about those guys. But the whole IMEC conference, Pep, is really strong. We have a really strong conference in the IMEC. I looked it up the other day, and I was just going down each team's roster, and there's probably about at least 14 kids that can play at the Division I level. You know, 14 kids. That's really good. Huff has kid Graham Worland. That's really good. 6'5" point guard. Vance have the kid Sanford. That's really good. Who have already got offered by Tennessee. Like, there's a bunch of great guys. West Charlotte has Chance Morrow. That's really good. 6'6" guy. There's a bunch of great guys that's in our conference, man. And the IMEC is not only a football conference, but it's also a basketball conference. So, you know, the IMEC is very strong. So that's all I really know about is the IMEC. So I'm going to speak on the IMEC, but the IMEC is strong. The IMEC is strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, you mentioned Chance Morrow, no relation, you know, because, you know, we had him on the I was serious because we had him on the IMEC football list for receiver, all conference list. And I started looking, I was like, hey, Morrow, hold on. I started checking with the family. I'm like, do we got a chance? No relation. So, you know.
Yeah, man.
But
Like,
yeah,
that's cool.
that's it
I thought
is.
that was
It
your
is.
cousin for a
So
little bit, Pep. I said, dang, Pep got a little cousin playing at West Charlotte, man. I thought he would have been at Harding, man.
if he was, he would. Now let me be quiet.
but don't forget about my guy LJ at Harding. He's doing a great job at Harding too. LJ has some great guys over there at Harding. He's doing a great job. So I got to shout LJ out. Me and him talk all the time, but he's a great guy also.
Yeah. So you mentioned the IMAC. Of course, that's the conference you're coaching in. Now, who are the guys? I know you mentioned North Mac. Would they be the top team in the league right now, in your opinion?
Well, Pep, I'm gonna go ahead and say, Mooresville's gonna be a top team. Now, I can't talk about my guys, but like,
I feel you. I feel you.
But being real, Pep, just looking at the depth they have, they're a really good basketball team. Chris Ford is committed to Davidson College. You got Jeremy Gregory with a bunch of Division I offers. Davion Cunningham offers. Like they have about 8 kids that can play on a Division I level. So they're very talented. They're loaded. But me, I have some great guys also. Got KC Shaw. That's going to be a sleeper that people, just keep sleeping on. And the kid averaged 16 points in the IMAC last year. But right now, North Mac will probably be the team to beat. Just being real, they're a great team. Coach Lewis does a great job. So right now, I would say North Mac will probably be the team to beat. But, that's why you play the game, Pep. So, we got them first game. So we have North Mac the first game of the season. So my guys are going to be ready. My guys have been working their butts off. I'm so proud of them. They're hungry, and they have bought into what we're trying to do here at Mooresville. So I'm just so happy. I couldn't be in a better situation.
Awesome, Coach. Awesome. Good stuff, man. So I got a couple questions. My first one is, we've seen the mandate come out from the NCHSA. Well, excuse me, not even NCHSA, from Governor Cooper about wearing masks. And can you guys really wear masks while playing a full up and down basketball game?
I don't think that playing basketball, Pep, you can wear masks, man. I think it's very hard to wear masks. I also believe that, like a lot of coaches have said, that the NC, that we need to look at what Rick Lewis have done with Rock Hill. He has done a great job every weekend putting on tournaments in Rock Hill, and everything has been safe. Everybody has been masked up, but players does not wear masks. The players have not been wearing masks, so I don't think that the players can wear masks, man. Playing basketball, volleyball is different, because football is different, but basketball, I don't think you can wear masks. It's a constant sport going up and down. Yeah, you can't wear masks.
I tend to agree, because I just think back. I ain't played basketball in a while, but just constantly moving, and having to breathe hard, in and out. That's
tough, Pep. So I'm gonna say no to the mask. But I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep everyone safe and sound. But I understand that. But it's kind of hard to wear masks, Pep. So I'm gonna say no to the mask. And look at college basketball today. Look at college basketball. Everyone's being safe, social distance on the bench. It's a great thing to see. And that's showing that you don't need to wear the mask on court, to be safe. So I would say that.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. I agree with you on that. Now, what have you heard in terms of allowing fans into the gyms to watch you guys play? Has there been any kind of, decision made on that you've heard that you can share or anything?
I heard that we only have 25 fans in the gym. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, 25 fans. And I'm not sure, but I know in Mooresville, we just got the cool camera up that can stream games. So I know that, we're going to be selling that. But 25 fans in the gym. And I'm not sure if the visiting fans are able to come or not. I think it's only for the home team. But I'm just thinking, don't quote me on that, but I think it's only for the home team. So 25 fans. So yeah.
Woo! How do you decide who gets in? Because I know for the private school football, they allowed senior parents, to come and watch. And then as the playoffs kind of got deeper, they allowed a few more, people to come in. But how do you narrow that down for 25 fans?
Right. See, that I don't know, but I'm guessing because what I do know is they're talking about JV is playing at the other location. So, for an example, we play North Met at Mooresville. Only the boys and girls would be at North Met of varsity. The JV teams would be at North Met. The boys varsity and girls varsity would be at Mooresville. So I'm thinking when the girls game is over, they clear it out and let the boys fans in. I mean, so I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it. It's just speculations and talks. So.
Gotcha. Well, you got a fan, Otis Powell at Nizzle 3. Let's go, big dog.
That's my guy, man. I remember when Otis was on here, man. That's my guy, man. He's a great coach, man. West Charlotte is so blessed to have him. So he's a great guy. That's my guy. He's Otis P.
Yeah.
Otis P.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, my last question is not a basketball question, but you also coach football. Are you going to miss coaching, JV football, or there's some plans to continue that as well?
Yeah. So as of right now, I'm just going to focus on basketball, man. I think that being a head coach, I think it's tough being a head basketball coach and an assistant football coach. So right now, I'm going to give my guys all my time and just focus on basketball right now. But, down the future, Coach Nixon is a great guy. Great guy. I love working with Coach Nixon. Great coach, great mind. Sometimes I just go in his office and just talk to him and just see where he's at. But he's a great guy. I love talking to Coach Nixon. I'm blessed to be able to work with him also. So down the line, there might be some football talk down the line, but I know I'm going to miss it. Just watching some videos and stuff online now on YouTube, watching, old videos, but I'm definitely going to miss that football. But right now, I think, I got to give all my time and effort to my basketball guys.
Well, that's spoken like a true head coach, man. So I wish you guys the best of luck. Hopefully, there's some media mandates with this stuff too. I just got our passes from the state association. They had a letter in there about reduced media covering things. So, hopefully, I'll be able to get out and do some basketball. Usually, I just do Harding basketball, but with the way that
I remember seeing you last year at the Rocky River and Harding game at Harding. And I was like, Pep, man, you gotta cover more basketball. And you was like, man, it's in the works, man. But I just want to say thank you for all you do for the sport, man, of football, man. Like, you do a great job of covering our state and South Carolina in the sport of football. So thank you for all you do and your CFI staff also.
No, thank you for, watching, man. I know you're one of the more dedicated guys to watch Football Focus weekly, and definitely appreciate that. And, last year ended up covering all the Harding home games and into the playoffs. And, we went 2 rounds with them. So, we may expand with, it's really about time.
That'd be cool,
to be honest.
Hey, that would be cool. That would be cool, man.
Hey, we might. Oh, we got another Otis comment here. He's gonna be. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Hey, I would definitely be at the Huff and Mooresville game. I won't miss it. I would definitely be at the Huff and Mooresville game. And shout out to the Huff guys also. They helped me along this journey of mine also. I probably wouldn't be here without those guys also with Coach Jenkins and Taguchi and Coach Baker and Chachi and all those guys. I just want to say thank you to those guys also, because those guys are some great guys over there at Huff, man. So thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Also,
You hear a lot about, stuff in the universe about different schools, but I do want to say that they are great guys. They are great guys.
Great program.
No matter, no
kids
matter
in
what you
college.
hear out there.
Yep. Great program. Get kids in school. Do it the right way. So I'm very, thankful for those guys also.
Absolutely, man. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. Now, I got Mizzle 3 on there, but your real name.
My real name is Amar Moore.
Yeah, Coach Moore with now the Mooresville Blue Devils. Going to do a great job coaching basketball, and we'll check in periodically, to catch up and see how things are going, and we'll get our basketball fixed through you.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited of being on CF5, man. It's been big watching you guys, you and Billups and McClem Rock and all you guys. So thank you again for having me, Coach. So I appreciate it.
No, thank you, Coach, man. I appreciate you. And we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. And have a great Thanksgiving.
All right. You too, man. Yeah, you too. Happy Thanksgiving, bud.
All right. Thank you.
All right, man. All right, so that was our buddy Mizzle 3, also known as Coach Armard Moore, Mooresville Blue Devils head basketball coach, former Huff JV head football coach. Going to do a great job up at Mooresville this upcoming season for sure. All right, so now, due to a technical error on my part, we have joining me the illustrious Coach Billups. What's up, man?
The funny thing about it, you sent me a text. God, this is how I work too much. I was knocked out. I've been sleeping. You see it off my face. And that's why he's laughing, because he know I was asleep. And I had to tell I was knocked out. I'm sorry. I was asleep. I work too much.
It's all good, man. We had plenty of stuff to do. We talked to Joe already. We talked to Coach Moore.
I know. I missed it.
Thing.
It's funny. It's funny. I got the text. I said, oh man. And I look at the time. I said, did I miss the PlayStation? I said, no, I didn't miss the PlayStation. I said, y'all 36 is no joke. I don't pitch the nerve in my back. I go to sleep at all hours of the night, and then I stay up all hours of the night. So, hey kids, enjoy you. But get it old is fun. But you go to sleep. It was funny. I still got my work clothes on. Usually I got an outfit on. God, this is Coach Real Rap. This is the dad. This ain't even Coach Billups. This is Brandon Billups. This is the dad, the father, the provider.
All right. So earlier I started the show by giving thanks to a lot of people. So I want to ask you, who do you want to give thanks for in this Thanksgiving season?
Me personally, I always give thanks to my babies and their mothers. They got two wonderful moms. I'm nothing without either one of them. I posted something earlier. Sometimes unfortunate events happen, but you gotta be grateful for everybody. Brad Bowles, I think Pep knows. A lot of people don't know. Brad Bowles, he kept me in football. After I left Hopewell, it was nothing to do with Hopewell. Brian Burkill. Burkill is the man. He's great. I love what he's doing. I thought when he hired Coach Bird and his staff, I told him, man, I said, hey, these guys don't go around and take that program. But Coach Brad Bowles, he made me fall in love with football again. I'm grateful for Coach Josh Harris, my AD at West Charlotte, because I was done. After this year. After I had my youngest daughter, I felt like I needed more time to be a father. So, I was like, I walked away, but he was like, it's home, and we had a good conversation. I'm grateful for Pep. I don't say that enough. Pep my guy. I go to war for Pep. And everybody knows that Pep my guy. He's one of the genuine people in the universe. In my immediate family. Everything I do is for them, just like with my girls and their mom. that's all I do. That's how I live life. Gave me life. I'm a living testament of my family and my girls. So yeah, that's what I'm thankful for, man. You know, we'll talk.
Very good, man. And that was deep. It was from the soul, and I felt you on that, man. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah. they don't like when I get deep.
So,
we have fun a lot, but we're very
right.
deep here.
And that's what I said earlier, when I was giving my thanks too, We had a conversation earlier on Twitter with Miss Moten here, and she has a reminder for you, Coach, that you might miss out on your PS5.
No, I'm not gonna miss out. I got devices all around the house. I fell asleep on the PlayStation Direct joint, y'all. But 9 o'clock, I got my Walmart app up, and I will press that button. I will get it. I got my PlayStation 4. I'm a little upset. I'm ready. I miss a football game, Madden game, and all that. But hey, guy, I'm aging like fine wine. I still look nice. I'm still wonderful. But I had to take a nap. It was nap time.
All right, so you're gonna be in a fight here with Kanisha because she's gonna be doing the same thing. So y'all might be fighting over the same PS5.
No. God works in mysterious way. I would never fight with a wonderful mother. Women are the anchor of the family. The anchor. They hold it down. So if
all right,
go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you. So if you get it and she don't, are you gonna just give yours to her?
Well, God has a funny way of working. Sometimes you just gotta pray. He knew sometimes you gotta pray. You gotta pray, and you gotta be like, maybe this is a lesson. Sometimes you gotta learn a lesson. You gotta learn the hard way. Unfortunately, if I get it over Miss Moten, I would be like, God bless you. I would not brag about it. I would be like, I got it. I'm sorry. But no, I'm sorry. Me and my parents need something to do. Because when Paw Patrol come on and LOL, girl, cry baby, whatever it is, I don't want to watch it. So I'm going to put it on my nice 70-inch TV, and they can watch it on the 45-inch, whatever size TV I got. And they just to have fun, and I could be left alone. But yeah, I would pray. I would say a little prayer for her. And I said, God, please bless her. And I wish, Walmart and the box, they don't act up tonight because I already got the button ready. Pop, 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 pop.
All right, so our buddy Jermaine Moss, he's with you on the nap. He says naps are priceless.
So, that's why Moss, hey man, and Mr. Moss is my guy, man. You didn't call me either, Moss. Jermaine, you didn't call me. We were supposed to go smoke one together, man. Oh Lord, I'm a little upset with you, but you're still my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah,
right
good there. Dude. Good friend of the show. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk, man. We got to talk about a couple things. First off, I'm gonna let you talk about your Rams. I know they did a. He ain't prepared yet. Let me go solo. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna let him get prepared. But the Rams did win a big game over the as he calls them, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. I got that wrong on my picks. I haven't calculated the picks yet. So we'll do NFL picks loser of the week next week when we get the whole crew back. But now he's ready.
Guys, that's terrible. That is terrible. Boy, I feel like Uncle Shay. I just don't got no brown liquor with me. I forgot that, but I fell asleep, guys. I was going to come in with Uncle Shay. I was going to have my goat mask. And I forgot all that because I fell asleep. It's because of somebody. I'm not going to blame her. She just walking in. Shush, I'm on the show. I'm on the show right now.
Bring her on.
Huh?
Bring her on the show.
No, she don't want to be on the show. She like me. I'm the vocal one.
Okay. All right. So, but you got to give some love to the Panthers, man. They shut out the Lions, 20-0. That was impressive, right?
I am excited for my brother PJ. That's the only person I know on the Carolina Panthers roster. I don't know nobody else.
That's it.
No. Well, you want to be honest with you?
Yes, I would love that. That would be great.
That was a big win for the Panthers. I was glad to see PJ get their offense going. It didn't look like it missed a beat with Teddy. To me, and this is just me being a person who knows a little bit about football. I'm not a guru. Y'all caught Matthew Stafford at the right moment. He couldn't grip that ball. Patricia was stupid to play him, but that's not y'all fault. It's like when I coach. It's like we played West Met one year, and this ain't no shot. They put one of the best quarterbacks out there, but he had a bad wheel, and we were playing on a mud field. We said, we're blitzing this joker, and we blitzed him, and he lasted for like a quarter and a half, and we blew him out at Providence. But you got to put.
I remember that game. I remember that.
Yeah, and it was just like everybody was shocked that they put him out there, and I would have too because he's the gunner. But Patricia was stupid. Patricia ain't gonna keep that job. There's so many people that about to lose a job in the NFL. It's not even funny. Matt Rule, his DC finally had a good game. I think because I want all the DCs to stop putting Brian Burns in a category and just let him be an edge rusher. Just let him be an edge rusher.
Yes.
Like they killing that young man's career. He'd probably be top 5 in the league in sacks if they actually let the man rush. The secondary still look like I said. Y'all won. It was a good game. It was a good overall team win. The reason I don't not dislike the Panthers, I just think they got so many pieces, and they're too loyal to people they don't need, like Trey Boston. It's not why.
Oh, man.
No, I'm not. I don't think Trey Boston. You gotta get past people. Like that offense is explosive, but you get stuck in your ways because that secondary and DJ, there's a couple of people in that secondary you gotta be like, like Jeremy Chin, the hybrid, the safety who play in the box, he play back. He's a gem. And DJ, when look at himself and say, I play football at LSU. I am an LSU corner. And he tells himself that and actually plays like that. Y'all can be special. And then Shaq, I think you got to put Shaq back on the edge. I don't think he's a Mike linebacker. I just think it's just a lot of things.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. They put Jermaine Carter there in place of Whitehead last week. He played pretty decent.
Yeah, and Whitehead's old. He just getting older. And then when the rookie, it's hard for a rookie. I think everybody, like I said, everybody don't understand my hate. It's not hate. Like Derrick Brown, he got to get used to the NFL. It's hard being a nose tackle or a 3 technique in the NFL. I think he's a solid 3 technique. I don't think he's a 1 and take on 2 blocks. You don't do that's tough. I think y'all losing short hurt y'all. But y'all don't be good.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
I like Gross Matas. I love Gross Matas. Y'all got pieces. It's just your DC is terrible. Your OC is a gem. Joe Brady is a gem. He
ain't gonna be here long.
Nah, he don't get a
comment though. From Mr. Maul, it says Cup is underrated, but the Panthers receivers are better.
Whoa! Did you see on Monday night? I used to call it Monday Night Raw with WWF, but I saw Monday Night Raw, and it was damn Wednesday. It was a Thursday night SmackDown on Monday night. Cooper Kupp is the most underrated receiver in football history. Like,
hold on now.
He is. And we all gotta be honest. Like, when we see, and I'm gonna be the guy. When I see a white player at a skill position, I'm like, hold up, he better be good. And it's the truth. It's the truth. Like when we saw a white cornerback, when you saw Jason Sehorn line up at corner, you were like, oh man, he might be the truth. And Jason Sehorn, he has to get look, Pat.
He wasn't the truth now.
No, we got a conversation. Jason Sehorn is the most he's one of the most overappreciated white skill players of our generation. The best white skill player of all time is John Lynch. It's just me being honest. Like he was just mean. He was smacking. He was smacking.
That's
a conversation we need to have.
That would be a good debate.
And number two, it probably CMC right now. These are it's just me being honest. And you put Ricky Pearl into that conversation. You put CMC Dad into the conversation. It's hard, and that's not what we like to say. That's not that's a social advancement conversation we can have, because you see these white boys at these skill positions. That's nasty when you've been in high school. Like one of my favorite receivers, that boy at Mooresville. That boy is so swaggy. He come out. He was at the camp. He came out. I forgot my man's name. He had the necklace on, had the earring on. I said,
"Oh yeah, I know you're talking about."
I said, "Boy, you got some swag, boy." I said, "You don't be," and and shout out to my boy Luke Bailey over there at Providence. He was a freshman, he's a sophomore now, but that boy swaggy. But Cooper Kupp, he gets so when we let Brandon Cooks go, everybody was like, "So who don't step up next to Robert Woods?" Oh, I said, "Oh, Cooper don't be the man." And you're seeing him. That was the first duo in a long time. You see two receivers, him and Bobby Trees, my boy Robert Wood. Bobby Trees and Cooper Kupp cut Tampa Bay up. That's why Tampa Bay has the best rushing defense, because you can throw the ball all day on them. That's a great team. And I was proud of my boys. We do have the best defense in the NFL. I hands down, that was impressive. I know Colts fan, shout out to my boy. I know the Colts fans think they had the best defense, but what we did was impressive. And you don't do that at Tampa Bay. And, Carolina fans, that's why I say y'all are beneath me, because look at my boys. Jared Goff played.
Moving on. Here we go. All right. So let's talk. Have you seen the realignment that's come out? And now this, I'm going to preface this and say this is a projection from high school OT, who does a great job, covering, these kind of things from the, in conjunction with NCHSAA. So I'm going to run through the 4A, and I'm going to run through all the schools projected 4A in Mecklenburg County, okay? So Mecklenburg 4A schools, Ardrey Kell, Myers Park, South Meck, Huff, Olympic, Mallard Creek, Providence, Independence, North Meck, Butler, Hopewell, East Meck, Vance or Julius Chambers, soon to be, Garinger, Berry, which was a surprise, and Rocky River. All those are in Mecklenburg County 4A schools. Berry
Rocky
being
River should not be a surprise to you. Rocky River, no. Well,
and Rocky River, yes.
Yeah, yes. Rocky River and Berry should not be a surprise to you. You got to remember, Berry is a magnet school, and their numbers are going to be divided with, I think Harding's. And to tell you the truth, so they get some of Harding kid numbers. So that's why Harding numbers are low. So I'm not shocked with it, but if you're going to base on numbers, it ain't going to be fair for some of the things. Like, South Meck probably had one of the best football teams I've ever had this year. But then South Meck gonna go back to being South Meck. And do you want South Meck?
I don't know about all that now.
I'm just saying. I'm saying South Meck they got a lot of talent. There's a lot of hype. Joe is my boy. I'm not talking bad about Joe. That's a tough school to coach at for football. You got numbers. It's just like anywhere on South Side. AK, Providence. I coach at Providence. Providence got a lot of kids, but do we got a lot of kids to play big 4A football? it's just me being honest. You don't because most of them kids go online.
I'll tell you what I think here, and there's something else to keep in mind with especially the Southern Mecklenburg County schools. There are going to be 2 schools added to the Southern Mecklenburg County area coming up in the next few years. There's the one that's projected down at the Palisades near Lake Wylie to give relief to Olympic, who is just exploding with kids.
That's going to be a 3A.
And then there's another one. It could be. Yep. And then there's another one projected kind of in the Pineville area, sort of, in that area to relieve South Meck and Ardukel.
Another 3A school.
Yeah. So these, the next 4 years, I think we're locked in pretty much. Because, with Realignment, they got that little 2-year thing you can do. But I think in Charlotte, we're locked in for 4 years. But that 2025 realignment is going to be really interesting when that comes around to see where we are then. But in saying that now, you try to figure out where the conferences may look like. And I'm going to kind of take a shot at this because right now we've got we've got the IMEC, of course.
You look at us leaving.
IMEC's going to look a lot different.
You look at us leaving IMEC. So, you look at West Charlotte,
right.
West North, and North still got the numbers. You look at West Charlotte leaving.
Yep. IMEC.
And then SoMet, you got Harding and West Met leaving, which needs to happen. Harding and West Met, right? And it's no offense to nobody because I know my brother-in-law is the AD of West Met. They number so low. It's only fair. And ain't nobody ducking anything. Them numbers are low.
So when you look at the 3A, and I'm glad you brought that up because now we'll look at 3A, and you mentioned the 3 schools that are in Mecklenburg County that are projected 3A. We've got Harding, we've got West Charlotte, and you got West Meck. But when you look at West Meck is deep in the 3A. I mean, if they're going to still do the splits, which I don't know if they're going to do that for playoffs or not still, but they are deep into 3A. They could be small 3A, if they're still splitting. For the playoffs. I don't know if that's been decided yet or not. But Harding is the 3rd 3A school, so they would be, in theory, big 3A, and then West Charlotte is more closer to the top, so you could say they're big 3A also.
But we don't go back up once the new school get built. We don't probably right back in 4A. So even though I like the realignment thing right there, I think out of that projected, I think West Charlotte don't stay in 4A. I think Harding and West Met will be the ones down. I know West Met, y'all hear First Live on Football Focus Weekly. West Met will be a 3A school. There's no way possible you play them kids in that school in 4A anything because it's unfair. Their numbers are so they need to do, and the state and the county need to do something to fix that school because that was once a prominent neighborhood school, and it's disgusting how they did that school.
I'll say this: when the River District comes in, which is near the outlets over there, projected in the next few years, West Meck is going to skyrocket because that's going to bring a ton of new homes and all that stuff. Yeah,
and shout out to my people at Olympic. They don't take some of that talent from Olympic, and they need to. Because West Met is balanced with, and you look at all the lines, how the lines are drawn now, it's not fair. Like, it's not fair.
Let me see if I can bring that up. Let me try to pull that. I used to be able, let me see if I can get to it.
Yeah, that thing right there, boy, them lines, like Mars Park, boy, and everybody think Mars Park do it. Mars Park is dipping everybody pie because they're right in the middle. It's like, they go up south side, they take some of west side. It's just because of where they're at. They need to redraw them lines in the county, in the district, and now fit some of the things.
Yeah, I'll tell you, back in 2010, when they were talking about either closing Harding or Waddell, that was something that, I got deep into. And the school board actually came to Harding and, listened to all of our complaints. And one of the big ones was the school zones and the way the map's drawn. I mean, it's kind of crazy, to be honest with you.
And they don't reopen Waddell soon, too. So you got to think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That was the other one that I meant to mention when we talking about South Charlotte. Yeah,
but they need. But South Met, AK are so over. They got so many kids in it, and now I think you need to put that Matthews up because Independence and Rocky River are taking kids from Butler area too. Whoever thought that would happen, like it's bad. And then Providence losing kids to AK. Providence used to take that whole South right there, but now AK right there, most of them are drawn right there. And then we could say this: Indian lands don't start taking a bunch of them kids because it's right there. Like that, their dish is right down that borderline, that state line, and some of them kids to go to Indian land. So it just they need to make more sense. Like it's no heat from Mars Park or nothing like, but Mars Park literally has this zone, and it's like it don't make no sense. Like you can't have. That's why schools like everybody like, man, East Mech's terrible. Their zone is like this guy.
Yeah. Now I'm glad you mentioned that because East Mech, was a really strong team, but when their whole zone changed when Rocky River opened, that really hurt them. It really hurt them a lot.
You got McClintock Middle kids going to Independence, Rocky River, and McClintock Middle's right down the street from East Mech. So the East Mech's only getting 10% of that school when they used to get 40, when they used to get 60%. That's a lot of athletes right there. And I don't care what nobody say tell me about that. I worked at McClintock Middle. It's a lot of talent. Arnold Taylor, quarterback at Independence. The running back we got at West Charlotte now, they both came from McClintock Middle. But both of them players, they first started Indy, then they, one the running back, he went to Garringer, and then he is where he is now. See, look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and I'm not showing the whole thing because it's so large. I'm gonna scroll down through it, but you see at the top of the county, you got Huff right there, and you see Hopewell, North Mech. There's Mallard Creek right here, Vance, or soon to be Julius Chambers. Yep. These are pretty standard. But then when you get down into the central part of the city, you kind of see how things get a little crazy
wacky
right there. So.
Wacky.
So you see, there's West Mech. West Mech has a big area, but you mentioned their numbers. It's because this is a lot of rural area right now. Yep. The area is going to explode here soon.
It's the airport, guys. It's the airport.
Yeah. And now you see Harding. Now I'll tell you what happened with Harding. All of this stuff down here to the south of Harding used to be Waddell. So when they closed Waddell, Harding picked up Waddell area. So you're talking about Nations Ford Road going down through here and that kind of stuff. But then you look at Myers Park and you see why they have so many kids. And you see the large scope that Myers Park digs into in a heavily residential part of South Charlotte right there. I mean, you're digging into downtown. And you got some west side as they cut into, Harding area right there, which used to be Waddell. They're picking up some of the east side, some of the south side. And you see how deep that digs into with South Mecklenburg right there?
Yeah.
So you see why there's another high school coming in this area right here with South Meck, and then you get down into Argykill to the state line.
Man,
there's a lot of kids in this south side area.
Yeah, like that Argykill, that little piece of the pie looks small. That's a big piece of the pie right there. That's a big piece of the pie. Even that lead that Mars Park got in Providence and South Met, they taken from Providence and South Met and East Met. Look how much they're taking from East Met. And that
exactly.
And we're not saying they're robbing. We're not saying the schools or coaches or anybody, the way they draw these lines, they're robbing from schools, that urban schools that could be really good. Like, man, nobody want to see East Met like this. East Met used to be a prominent figure in high school athletics, just not football. They had an outstanding football team, outstanding basketball team, outstanding baseball, softball. You don't want to see the Eagles like how they are. And it sucks because this is politics. And that's why I tell people, that's why everybody gets so caught up on the grand scheme or the federal race. You need to worry about local. These are stuff that we as a community, we voted on approving this.
Yep.
We don't go to school board meetings. You pick the wrong people, the aldermen, and you don't pick real people to represent your district. You gotta understand something. These lines, they're stealing from your community, and it's not parents. These are why if everything was fair. You won't see all this transfer stuff because you guys got kids playing where they're supposed to. You don't like Garinger. You got Garinger. Look, they going all the way up to Rocky River. Why? And they're doing that because they want to keep Garinger relevant. And people don't want to go to Garinger because if you look at I would love for CFI to go to these schools that y'all think are really terrible at sports, and you see their facility. They're not on the same level as these top programs. And it's not the athletic problem. It's the states. It's the district. They're not funny. Garinger still looks like the same Garinger when I went to school. And that's terrible because when I was in school in 03 through 99, Garinger looked like the same school that my mom and dad went when my mom played.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a running joke when we get together at Harding. We'll have booster club meetings and things like that. Yeah. And we brought the alumni back from the 80s, and we did a few things with them, and they said, "Man, it's the same as it was in the 80s." And I said, "Well, yeah."
That's how West Met is.
I mean, it's sad though.
That's sad. How West Met is. You go West Met. We had a training there when I still was in CMS. And I went in there, I was like, it looks like the same school from when I was in school. So God, y'all want to get Trump out of office. We did that. But we need to start voting on these people, making sure people who look like us are in these school board things and make sure they stay at the same agenda as we do. And that's not me talking about any school board member, but it's some people on there who want to own there to make sure their area of school gets the resources and get the talent. And it's not fair. It's like, thank God they let West Charlotte get the new school and stuff that we got because we need it, but we're not the only one. Garrison need a new school. Harding need a new school. West Met need a new school. There's a school, Eastway Middle. You guys, go to Eastway Middle. It's pathetic how that school looks. It's pathetic. And
so we got a couple comments here. Well, first of all, Chris Hawk says, "Well said, Billups." So, he's in your corner with everything you're saying.
Yeah. And
then Jermaine Moss, and this is a good point. Now, don't think it's a zoning issue; it's a popularity issue. Winning attracts talent.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's a double-edged sword right there. Because there are advantages for home schools. If you leave, a school, go to your home school, you can play immediately. And one of the things that I always talk about, and I talk about Barry from time to time, but one of their disadvantages is they don't have a true home zone. So we talk about players leaving Barry, year in, year out. It's because it's easy for them to leave, because they're going back to a home school that exists.
Yep.
So Barry is not anyone's home school. It's the same problem we used to have at Harding back in the day before Barry existed. And we didn't have a home zone at Harding. Our advantage was we could pull from the entire county. So you try to get them in 9th grade and you try to keep them. But if someone gets disgruntled and they can just go back to their home school and play for them immediately with no penalty. But then we, at the time, Harding could not get anyone to come to us, in that transfer kind of situation. So, having the home zone, in the right place, it's an advantage. It's definitely an advantage. I will
go ahead.
Well, just to finish up that point, but I will say, winning does attract some talent in some cases, but if you're in the right part of the city, it's a great advantage to be able to have kids come to you if you're in the right part and have a good home zone area.
Yeah. Well, you got a spade a spade. I say water is wet, the sky is blue, and winning is winning. And I want y'all all to know something. Sometimes it's not all about y'all. I think a lot of people are so on this. you know, coaches win games and stuff like. It's about players. It's player-led championships. They're a great coach. There's unicorns in the game, like Tommy Knox, but he attracts what he attracts. And Charlotte football was really relevant when I was in school. We had transfers, always a transfer, but it was relevant because we had neighborhood versus neighborhood. You know, and it was good football. We didn't have somebody who played at East Met but live in University playing against people who live in the same neighborhood. And like I always say, I know it happens. I don't care. You know, you got to do what's best. I'm a parent. And when you become a parent, it's like I was telling my brother today. Me and my brother have a conversation. He was like, I'm going to buy my son 55-inch TV. I said, why? I said, you know what? My bad. I can't tell you what to do with your child because that's your child. And when my girls at a certain age, I'm going to do things people might be like, I wouldn't do that. But can't tell people how to parent their own kids. So, no, I think in the world of today and everything, in all aspects of life, the adults are the problem. And that's just me telling you, even with the COVID stuff. But it's a long conversation. I got a podcast coming out soon, and we're going to talk about all kinds of things. It's going to be real dope. But I think the adults are the issue. And even with sports, you know, I don't see kids fighting the stands. I see adults fighting the stands. I don't see, you know, so that because we want our kids to be more successful and stuff like that. And I get it because I'm like that. I have a 2 and a 1 year old. I'm like, my 2-year-old, she runs around. I'm like, oh, that's a track star. Let me go. Do I need to get in the track? And now I'm like, whoa, Brandon, she's 2. Let her enjoy life. Let her enjoy the grace that God gave her. And you get to a point where, but he's right. Mr. Moss is right. Winning is contagious. But we all got to remember that's life lessons. Like I'll talk about the Jay Cutler treatment. Jay Cutler at Vanderbilt. Jay Cutler, he was not. He went to Vanderbilt and they were terrible, but he still got to play in the NFL. And there are numerous places. You know, Joe Flacco, he went to Delaware. He still was a first-round pick. So sometimes you just gotta be patient and wait on God's glory and His grace because that's what we got. But I get it. I don't bash nobody who do that because we all serve different purpose and we all elevate to a different mindset in our own time pace. Coach Billups, I'm there in my life. I'm like, hey, I get this thing now. But at the same time, that's not saying that I want to lose. Pep didn't want to lose when he was coaching at Harlem. But at the same time, he understood his point for coaching. I look at myself in the mirror, and I want all the this last thing to say, I'm done. I look at myself in the mirror all the time and say, I'm just a high school football coach who gets $300, $400 stipend, whatever the stipend is. It ain't that serious.
A little more than that.
Yeah, a little bit more than that. I'm sorry, guys. It's like 12, about 12. But I look at it and I'll be like, this is just one of my major things. This is just something minor in my life. If I ever get to the college level, I get a little bit more serious about it. And I get to the NFL, I'll be, I'm really serious about it. But I think you guys take y'all job too seriously. Like, y'all take this all too seriously. Y'all, we're going to be, like, bro, you're just a high school football coach. You know, you're just a high school football. And y'all all do that. They all do that. That's why I'm friends with like Mizzle and Baker. They're my guys. Sam. I got a couple good friends, you know, and Jeremy Johnson. Jeremy Johnson is amazing. Y'all, if he ever don't be camera side, y'all need to get him on the show. But he is who he is. But
we will.
Me personally, y'all take this thing too most serious. Like y'all worse than the kids, but that's why I just chill. I'll be on my video game account more than I'll be on my football account because it's just too serious. Because like even when my Rams were, y'all saw me on my fleece, I was having fun. I'm going to have fun. Life is too short. I want my kids to be joyful. I want everybody to be joyful. But you're just a high school football coach, bro. And it ain't that serious. And
well, you know, one of the things that I said a few weeks ago, it might have been a couple months ago now, was, you know, with all the recruiting talk and all the, you know, stuff going on amongst, you know, different coaches, it's like, you know, what are we doing all this for? You know, we know it's happening. We know it's happening, but I mean, what are we doing it for? I mean, really,
to stroke their egos. Just being honest,
you know, I mean, it's at that point now to where I almost have to agree with you, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, parents and kids have free reign to make their own decisions, and you know, like we said, a lot of it is parent driven, but we know that, you know, the undue influence is happening, and you know, I continue to say, you know, if you're doing it, you know, a time's gonna come where, you know, that stuff's gonna come back to get you at some point. It may not be immediate, but it will. You know.
That's just how it is.
I'm gonna let you jump off because it's 8:57. I don't want you to miss that PS5.
Hey man, that's why I love you. Because you saw me get up, I had to go find my other phone. All right, and I hit you up later, man. All right.
All right, I got you, man. Thanks.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too, man. All right, so that was the illustrious Coach Billups joining us. He's got to go get a PS5 or try. I know he's going to be fighting Miss Moten to get that. And she's about to get on it too. So good luck to both of you. I'm not in the fight. I gave it up for now. But hopefully one of y'all get it. And, you know, Miss Moten, if your son gets it, you know, I'm going to maybe come over there and play a little bit just to get a feel for it. So let's see what happens. All right, to finish up the show tonight, I want to highlight some players from the private school ranks here in Charlotte that had a really good season. And like I said, we've done this before throughout the years in different formats. Over on YouTube, we've done it on, you know, some other shows that we've done. I did it with Cherie when we used to get together and do the shows. But Pep Man's players is when, you know, I like to sit down and talk about players that, you know, I've seen in person or I've really studied on film when we're looking at, you know, different players and such, getting ready to do the show and, you know, try to talk intelligently about, you know, games and matchups and things like that. You know, the first one, Russell Tabor for Charlotte Country Day. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know, I interviewed this kid 2 years ago. We were able to go out and visit the schools, and pre-COVID, in the long ago, it seems. Really, really well-spoken kid. You know, really, you know, good size frame, 6'3". You know, he's got the cannon for the arm. I know you guys have heard the name. You know, he's been out there and been, you know, kind of showcased, you know, in different areas. But he's a really good player for Country Day. He's a senior. You know, he's not getting a ton of recruiting attention right now, but hopefully, you know, I know Coach Whitman over there we just talked to last week. We'll have clips of those interviews coming up soon from that show also. But Coach Whitman spoke very highly of him. He led that team. You know, we did a highlight package. He had the incredible hurdle over a DB trying to tackle him. But he's got, you know, he's got the arm. He's a dual threat guy that can run enough to keep you honest. You know, wish him the best. You know, the season ended prematurely, in my opinion, you know, for them because of the COVID situation. But, you know, really, really excited to see where he ends up in his future, for sure. Henry Rutledge, I mean, what can you say about this kid? I know he won a big award recently from the Observer. Well-deserved on that. Congratulations to him for that. But I tell you, man, if I, you know, was still coaching, he would be the kind of kid I want in my offense. You know, he's a speed guy. He's a dual threat guy, meaning that he can carry the load, but you can also throw the ball to him and get him into space and do dynamic things. Heck, he was kicking off. You know, I mean, and the personality of the kid is really what sells me. And speaking to him a couple of times, you know, we did the long form interview with him. And you can see the love that he gets from his teammates and, you know, the parents and the fans over at Charlotte Christian. Just from how many people, you know, viewed that interview. It was one of probably our top interviews that we've done this season as far as, you know, the views and everything. So I'm so excited for this young man to see where he goes on the next level. And that's the cool thing, when you do this stuff. You're seeing how kids, progress not only, in high school, but when you follow them on into college and having done this for a while now, and you see some names that you've done interviews with in the past, starring on the college level. De'Ami Brown from West Meck over at North Carolina, for example. You go back in the archives and, look at those interviews that you did. And, it's so great to see, the way kids progress. And he's going to be one that I'm excited to see him on the next level and what he does. Thomas Flynn played both sides of the ball over at Providence Day. Good sized kid. He made a lot of tough catches on the offensive side of football. He also helped out on defense, playing a number of positions from linebacker to defensive end to even defensive tackle at times. We spoke to him after their big win at Charlotte Christian earlier in the season. Well-spoken young man. I saw that he got, I believe he got an offer not too long ago from another school. So I'm excited to see, what he does on the next level as well. The last one I'm going to highlight tonight, we're going to do some more next week, but the last one we're going to highlight tonight, Jimmy Bailey, the linebacker at Christian. We talked to him after their win at Providence Day to give them the number 1 seed in the playoffs. I'm so glad that, they were able to get another state championship over there at Charlotte Christian. Another well-spoken young man, grew up in that program, did a great job for their defense, all year long, was the leader on that side of football. And, I just want to say thank you to giving us time to do that interview, and congratulations on the victory, man. All right, so that's going to end the show this week. Like I said, a little different show tonight, but we wanted to do something, to give thanks to, some people. I hope you go back and, enjoy that, because that was in the beginning of the show. But we'll be back with the full crew next week. For those that are still watching, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the day with your families tomorrow. If you're going to do shopping at Black Friday, get online and do it. You got to wear this mask, man. We got to stop this COVID. We want to play football in the spring. We want to have a good basketball season. We talked to Mizzle earlier. He said 25 fans in the gym. Oh, this is crazy, man. But thanks for hanging in there with us. Some people have asked me, are we still going to do the show? Because you saw the other show is going to take a break. We're going to keep doing Football Focus Weekly. We got a lot to talk about. We just started on the realignment stuff. We're going to dig deeper into that. We're going to have conference projections for realignment. We're going to, we still got South Carolina going on. We'll talk South Carolina football next week as well. And we're going to really use this time to highlight a lot of players. We're really going to do a lot of player stuff in the interim, between now and the spring when we get ready to play public school football here in North Carolina. Hopefully, cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. I got a few comments coming in before the end of the show. Miss Moten did not get the PS5 that fast. It's 9:05. This stuff is crazy, man. This is like what Teddy Ruxpin in the 80s. That was a big one. I got my Teddy Ruxpin back then though. So Coach Bird saying Walmart already showing sold out. Oh man, good gracious. Well, good luck. I mean, there'll be more opportunities to try to get it, man. I hope Billups got his. He didn't text me, so I guess he didn't get his either. But Coach Bird saying happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Thank you guys for your support over there at Hopewell. You guys are one of our favorites, as I said. Mr. Moss saying happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys as well. Also, next week, almost forgot, our camp is still on. It's still on. We're going to modify it a little bit. The COVID stuff, we got some different, regulations and restrictions we're going to, talk about. But you're going to have a lot from the camp next week. We're going to have to limit it to 100 people, 100 players, I should say. So we're going to change the camp a little bit. We're going to focus it more individually based. It's going to be really an evaluation for kids that try to showcase what they can do individually. So a lot more to come on that next week. But once again, happy Thanksgiving from all of us at CFI, Pet Man, Matt Morrow. We'll see you next week, guys.